Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me. We're going to be talking about my favorite cultured foods. And there's quite a few of them, but I want to give you the specific reasons why I like these certain foods. Almost 2 decades ago, and this is 2021 because this podcast will go on for a long time. So 2 decades ago from 2021, I had a revelation. I no longer could rely on an individual to solve all my health problems, even if it was a medical professional. Although I have a lot of respect for what they do, I realize they are very limited since most doctors only get 2 weeks of nutrition in medical school. That's simply not enough information. And since we need to eat and drink to survive, and so do our cells, I wanted to know more about how our cells ingest nutrients, fluids, proteins, and other molecules to make the body that we call home. When my daughter had massive food allergies and leaky gut syndrome and IBS, I went to several doctors who thought we might try and take out her gallbladder, but they weren't sure it would actually help. Instead, I came to the conclusion that since the cells of our body are made up of the food we eat, then there had to be a correlation. And by golly, I was going to figure it out because that would be so much better than just doing surgery and hoping that it would work. So that started me on a journey that transformed not only her life, but mine and now thousands of other people. Along with this journey, I've learned about the trillions of microbes that call me home and that have been my best teacher and constant companion. I have spent the last 20 years learning, eating, and making these foods, teaming with probiotics. And I tell you, the wisdom they have imparted has been transformational and has been pure joy to me. Now, I am more aware than ever that health starts with the fuel you provide your body, but it's also important to have exercise, mental health, and the number of bugs or microbes in your gut play a huge role. It took some changing and some days were tougher than others, but when I faced discomfort head on, I experienced the most growth. And this has happened to me over and over again. And I am so thankful for the pain that made me grow. It's been life-changing. So, here's a list of my favorite cultured foods and a few others that have been a part of my life for the last 20 years. Change is inevitable, so let's make it life-changing, okay? Let's do that, because it can change everything. Okay, here we go. My favorite cultured foods. Kefir. This was the first cultured food I tried. I think it's the easiest to make. It also has the most probiotics, 50 plus in kefir, and it helped me with my high blood pressure and my blood sugars, and it also helped me with my mood. When I'm super stressed, 2 to 3 cups of kefir spread throughout the day will calm me down and chill me out. Kefir contains so many vitamins and minerals and enzymes. It has calcium, it has phosphorus, magnesium, vitamins B, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. It also has folic acid, vitamin K, and vitamin A. And most importantly, vitamin D. 2 cups of kefir will contain all the B12 you need in a day. And it's hard B vitamin to get. But kefir has a lot of it, and it also has a lot of amino acids. Tryptophan is one of the essential amino acids that is abundant in kefir and is known for its relaxing effect on the nervous system. Kefir has also helped my husband with acid reflux. It's helped him with constipation. It's helped my little premature infant many years ago thrive. It helped my older daughter with her IBS and food allergies. It is hands down the cultured food I consume the most. I do not go a day without it, and I have it almost every single morning. I have had the most success from this amazing food, and it is so amazing to me that its benefits continue to surprise me because people keep telling me about all the things that it has done for them. And I had a really neat, amazing story that I want to share with you from a lady named Rosie who wrote in. And she wrote in I put her on my Lives Touch page. And we have a link where if you have a story that you'd like to share with everybody, you can send it in and I put your picture and your story on there. And it really helps other people as they read it. So this is Rosie's transformational journey with milk kefir. Hi, Donna. Today I would like to share with you about milk kefir and how it has changed my life. From my personal experience, I hope to reach out and help others as well. My long battle has been dealing with constipation since my childhood days, and it got worse and worse over time and with age. I've tried several types of laxatives, been to so many doctors, and tried all the remedies possible, but nothing ever really seemed to help. My nails started to become brittle, my skin became very dry, especially at the knuckles, which is very painful, and I got severe reflux due to this issue with constipation. After the new year of 2020, I realized I was losing the sensation to poop. I was afraid and desperately looking for something that would help me in the long term with no side effects and heal me from the inside out. I did extensive research for solutions that came across this probiotic called milk kefir, which is filled with good bacteria and yeast. And after trying this miracle drink, it has been helping and healing me. It has helped many people that I know with different types of gut issues as well. It has been more than a year now since I started having milk kefir daily. My skin has almost healed, my nails are back to normal, my hair has a much softer texture, and it's not falling out like it was before. Finally, I can go to the bathroom every day without medication. No more reflux, no more bloating and swelling, and yes, I've lost 3K. My daughter's hemoglobin was also a bit on the very low side, and now she's fine and well. My whole family drinks milk kefir every day, and the healthy drink has become a part of our daily routine. I hope my message will be help to so many people who may be suffering from gut issues. A healthy gut equals a happy life. Now, that is just one of the many stories that I've had that I've gotten on kefir. And that's exciting to me because it does so many things. And I could go on and on about that, but I have a whole section on 7 reasons I love kefir. And they've got the Lives Touch page, which is on myculturedfoodlife.com. Just go to the menu bar and you'll see Lives Touch, and you can read more transformative stories on there about this magical, I call it my magical elixir. Okay, now, I love kefir, just hands down. I talk about it probably more than any of the other cultured foods, but I also love kombucha. And this special Probac tea was the second cultured food I tried, and boy, was it a life changer. And it continues to be a life changer. It has a special probiotic yeast that cannot be killed by antibiotics and is one of the drinks I consume regularly for a whole bunch of reasons. Kombucha helped me to replace the addictive quality of diet pop and highly processed foods, and nothing else worked to detox me from those addicting chemicals that kept me craving these foods and harming the cells of my body. It was kombucha many, many years ago that assisted my liver in detoxifying me and allowing me to crave healthier foods and drinks. To be an effective probiotic, it must survive its passage to the colon. This means it needs to survive at the body temperature of 98 degrees and be resistant to stomach and bile acids, and then survive the complex and diverse microbial world of the intestinal tract. Now, the special probiotic S. boulardii does that. And more, it's even resistant to antibiotics, heat, stomach acids, and has been used in hospitals to help with acute diarrhea in children and adults, offering support for C. diff, bowel disorders, AIDS patients, children with autism, inflammatory bowel disease. And if you need to take an antibiotic, it's a powerful probiotic to take since it's resistant to antibiotics and will be helpful if you find yourself with candida overgrowth, which can often happen if you take antibiotics, because it kills the good and the bad bacteria, and that allows candida to grow because it's got more room since all the good bacteria is gone, and the bad. Kombucha is packed with glucosamine, which helps prevent joint damage by supporting the preservation of collagen, and it does this by increasing hyaluronic acid, which is really important for the lubrication of your joints. And when joints are better able to move, the collagen isn't worn down as much. I've heard a lot of people express to me how kombucha helped them with joint pain, and it's very effective in relieving painful swelling. I love kombucha. It has many other benefits, but those are just a few of the reasons I love it. Now, I want to tell you a story about Chris Johnston. He is somebody that's very, very important to me, and you probably don't know it, but behind the scenes, Chris does a lot of work on our website. He's the website manager, but he does so much more than that. And most of the reason that my website looks the way that it does is because of Chris, because he's a great designer. He does so much that I can't thank him enough for all the things he does. But in 2010, I had just started my blog and my Facebook page. And the second person to post on my Facebook page was a man named Chris, who is the guy I'm talking about. And he asked me how to make kombucha. He was a friend of my kids, and what I didn't know at the time was Chris had just been diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. He was young, he had a new family, and he needed help. Fast forward many years later, and Chris is 10 years plus cancer-free, has 4 kids, and we work together remotely every single day. He did undertake chemotherapy, but he also added tons of cultured food to his diet, including a lot of kombucha, and his wife has been diligent in helping him have a probiotic diet. So here's something interesting. Years later, I discovered just how important it was that Chris add cultured foods to his diet, as it is the number of gut microbes you have that help repair your gut after chemotherapy that is crucial. And if you don't have them, you can really struggle to repair that gut. And it's just such a big deal to care for your microbes, especially if you're undergoing any kind of stress or cancer or anything like that, because that will determine how your immune system works, how your body repairs itself. And I've got a really good article on that I'll link in the description below called Cancer and Cultured Foods, because if anybody's struggling with that and needing to go through chemotherapy, you really need to read that article because it will help you a lot. Okay, now my third favorite cultured food is fermented vegetables. They are some of my most used food like medicine in my refrigerator. And I have so many jars in my fridge, it's ridiculous. And I just made 2 more yesterday, and I already have probably 5 in there, but I just keep making them, partly because for pictures and business, but partly because I like them. And I like to use the different vegetables. I just made carrot cake in a jar, which is absolutely delicious. That's a recipe in a blog that's coming out this Sunday. And it's just fun. It's a springtime thing that I love and I enjoy it. And so I make a lot of cultured vegetables. And there is a superstar bacteria in cultured vegetables called Lactobacillus plantarum, and it is extremely hardy. It's a huge probiotic, and it survives the stomach acids with ease. It can make the full trip from your mouth to your intestines to your colon to colonize you in a very powerful way. And it is a welcome guest that works mightily for you by fiercely attacking pathogenic bacteria in your body. It will strengthen your good bacteria by killing the bad guys, and then helps your own good bacteria grow stronger and helps it to be more resistant to the future invasions of pathogens. Now, it's important to note that this is a transient bacteria, which means it only lasts a few days in the body. So it's important to have it every couple of days or every 3 days because it doesn't last very long. It's pretty powerful. It can even knock out food poisoning, and I have seen this over and over again with myself, my family, and so many other people who write in. It has been studied and found successful in the inhibition of food poisoning pathogenic bacteria and is being studied to use and improve the microbiologic safety of food. It's superior for any kind of stomach stress. Just the juice, just a spoonful of that juice can change your stomach in a matter of minutes. And I've seen this so many times, and I have so many stories, so many emails of people telling me how effective it was for stopping vomiting, stomach cramps, nausea, with just a spoonful of the brine of the vegetables. Just the juice alone can do this. Try it, and you'll make you a believer. Nothing works better for the stomach distress than cultured vegetables. Okay, my next favorite one is sourdough bread. And it was really my daughter's inability to digest wheat that started me on a journey to learn about fermentation. Our bread was transformed when we made it with the sourdough culture, and it is hands down is one of the most satisfying culture foods to make. It is glorious to take a loaf from the oven and know it will nourish my family. The fermentation, partially from the lactobacillus, allows the bread that is lower on the glycemic index, thus making it better for those with blood sugar issues. And the fermentation also helps restore the functioning of the digestive tract, resulting in proper assimilation and elimination. And this is one of the most delicious cultured foods. And it was really amazing to me that my daughter couldn't digest regular wheat, but she could if I used the sourdough culture. And it was to that day to this, I'm still making it and enjoying it. It's just a really fun thing to make all the time, sourdough bread. I love it. I make probably 2 loaves a week. And my family loves it. I love it. I have it almost every morning. I have a piece of toast every morning with kefir. And it's just something, it's just such a part of my routine, has been for so long, and I love it. Okay, next one, kefir soda. There are two ways to make kefir soda, and I love kefir soda. We have two or three bottles in the fridge right now. And it's a slightly different process than making water kefir, using water kefir crystals. Those are a different type of culture. The difference is I use a culture package. So you can either make kefir soda with a culture package, or you can use kefir soda and use the whey from milk kefir. When you strain out the whey to make kefir cheese, you can use that. And both of those ways work really, really well. And it's different than water kefir, but it's more bubbly. It's delicious. It's easy to make. And once you make one bottle, you can use a portion of that bottle, like a fourth of a cup of that bottle, and make dozens more bottles. Right now, I have been remaking it. I've been remaking from I made a bottle with a culture package, and I probably made 15 more bottles from that bottle. I just keep adding more juice to it and more water. And basically what you do is you put 2 cups of juice in a bottle, and it's like a 32-ounce bottle. And then you fill the rest up with water. And first you mix the culture in with the juice, or the water, doesn't matter. You have a culture package, you mix it in. You pour that in the bottle with 2 cups of juice. You let it ferment depends on how warm your house is. The first bottle is going to take a couple of days to make because it just takes a while for it to ferment. And if it's cold in your house, it takes a lot longer. It can take 5 days, or it can take 2 to 3 days. And the way that you can tell when it's done is because it gets super fizzy and when you try to open it. But after you make that first bottle, then you drink almost all of it, or down to a fourth of a cup. Then you add 2 more cups of juice and then fill the rest with water. And mine has been making in less than 24 hours. Mine's been making in 16 to 18 hours. And so you have to check it because it's going to explode if you don't check it. But then after that, you can have kefir soda in less than a day. And you can just keep reusing it. And the more you do it, the faster it works. And it's just a fabulous way to make kefir soda, especially this time of year. It's warm here where we are now, so everybody's drinking it. If Macy comes over, my oldest daughter, it's gone. She drinks about half the bottle. Her and my son love it, but it's so easy to make. They make it, which is why I like it, because they can just add some juice to it and water and fill it up and let it ferment, and it's done. So we've got that going. It's super easy. It's a culture package from Cultures for Health that we sell. It's different than the other products we sell, like Easy Kefir. The Easy Kefir doesn't have the right type of yeast in it that will allow that to get bubbly. So I have all the instructions for all of these sodas and things on how to make them in the link description below. So if you want to make some delicious kefir soda, I'm actually going to make some today. I was going to make some an orangeade one, because I've got a lot of oranges. So I was going to juice them, put the juice in, and make some delicious orangeade today, because everybody keeps drinking all my kefir soda and I never get any. So it's a fun way to make it. Okay, now another one is miso. I love miso. It is a salty paste made from fermented beans. It's usually soybeans, but it can be made from things like chickpeas or other beans. And I like to buy my miso at the store, since usually it takes about 3 months to make miso. And miso gets better with age. It won't turn rancid or spoil. I keep mine in the refrigerator, and it just seems to get better and taste yummier the longer I have it. Even some misos can be over 10 years old, and they're still good. They just last forever in your fridge. Miso has so many health benefits, such as lowering blood pressure, keeping your arteries clean. It provides protections from many types of cancers, radiation poisoning. It promotes brain health. And we have so much information about why miso is so good for you. And if you'd like to check out the article, I will link that description below, reasons and recipes to have more miso, because I have a lot of recipes, but I have a lot of reasons you should have miso, because it's fantastic. Okay, another favorite is kefir cheese. I make kefir cheese constantly. It's crazy easy, filled with probiotics. You can use it in a million different ways. I make kefir cheese in big and small batches, and it's super easy to make. I just put it into a coffee strainer, the kefir, put in a strainer with a coffee filter in it, and I just strain the whey through the strainer into the bowl, and then in a day you have kefir cheese, or 8 hours to 12 hours. The longer you strain it, the more dense your cheese will be. And it's versatile. It's versatile, and the length of time is going to determine, the type of cheese. Sometimes it can be, if you don't strain it very long, it can be like a cream cheese or a sour cream. If you strain it longer, it's more like a goat cheese, and it's just absolutely delicious. You can sneak it into diets of picky eaters because it tastes just like cream cheese or sour cream. And if you're lactose intolerant, remember that it's 99% lactose free. And I'll put that link below on how to make kefir cheese because it's super easy. Okay, yogurts. I love kefir, but yogurt is something I have often too. I love it. It's something I use a lot for desserts. I top some yogurts with berries, and I'm just happy as can be. I love it. And so what is the difference between kefir and yogurt, and which is better? Okay, so kefir is by far superior because of the beneficial bacteria, but yogurt has benefits too. And I read once that yogurt is like wine and kefir is more like champagne because it has more fizz to it. And to state it simply, yogurt felt like the first learning step in my cultured foods. And I have a whole bunch of yogurts you can make, and we're actually getting our own yogurt. We're working with a distributor in France who we're going to be making our own types of yogurts. Because I do really love yogurt. I use it all the time. And there's so many benefits. It's good to have a diverse type of microbial, population of different gut microbes, and you get different ones when you have yogurt. And so I love that. And it's easy to make. I have a lot of yogurts you can make that most of them don't even require equipment. Lots of time you got to get yogurt makers, and a lot of these you can just make on your counter. So I'll put that link in the description below too. Okay, now another thing, I told you how much I love kefir cheese, but I also love Chèvre and crème fraîche. I love that. Those are two of my favorite ones, and they're worth making. They're easier than you think, and they're probiotic if you make them the way I make them. And cheese is loaded with vitamin K2 and is referred to as the X factor by Dr. Weston Price, who has been called the Isaac Newton of nutrition. Vitamin K2 has been shown to reduce the risk of prostate cancer by 35% and also protect against leukemia, and might even be used as a treatment for leukemia in the future. And I have references for all that below. If you look at the link description below and click on it, you'll see those references. Vitamin K2 may help protect us from heart disease by reducing calcium deposits in the artery. And some studies have even shown that it can reverse calcification in the arteries that have gotten hard. So, and I have information for that. Okay, vitamin K2 helps form strong bones and helps the skin stay healthy with the prevention of wrinkles, sagging skin, and varicose veins. Vitamin K2 is necessary for vitamin A to do its job, which is maintaining proper skin proliferation. And I love making these cheeses. And right before I started writing you this, I was making a quart of crème fraîche because I need it. I like it because it's one of those things that it's really easy to cook with. And it's one of the things I use a lot to top things with. And I like it because it has some of the stuff you get at the store may not be probiotic, but if you make it yourself, which is super easy, you're going to get probiotics too. So I have all the instructions on how to make them and what you need to make them. And I'll put that in the link description below too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this link description below, and it's going to have everything on there. You just go to this article and you'll see, and you can click on the boxes. And this is one of the things that Chris does for me. He designs these boxes so you can just go to the thing that you want to see instead of having to read through all the information. So we kind of do that to make it easier for you so you can find what you're really looking for. Okay, water kefir. Water kefir grains are what we call water kefir crystals, are unlike milk kefir grains because they thrive on sugars and not lactose. And the special, well, even though lactose it's a milk sugar, but these don't use milk sugar, so they're dairy-free. And the special probiotic yeast and beneficial bacteria in the water kefir consume the sugar in the sugar water, and then they produce probiotics. They also produce new enzymes, vitamins, and help repopulate your gut flora. And it's just wonderful. They are dairy-free, gluten-free, and despite being called grains, they're not grains. They're little crystal-y things that they're combinations of bacteria and yeast. And they look different from milk kefir grains because they're translucent and they're tinier. And milk kefir grains are white and are bigger and puffier. Depending on, milk kefir grains can be little too. So it just depends on the way that you feed your grains as to how big they get. Now, water kefir is different from the kefir sodas I talked about before because kefir soda is made with a powder package, while these are made with crystals. And the kefir soda is not dairy-free. After the first batch, it will be dairy-free, but they do feed it dairy to the culture itself as a food source to keep the culture alive. But once you make it, after the second or third batch, all the dairy's gone. So now this recipe that I'm going to give you is made with water kefir crystals that are dairy-free, and they can last indefinitely, and it's really fun to make. And I'll give you the link for that too. So these are just a few of the probiotic foods I make and I love. And I realize it seems like a lot, but this is really how I live. And I've been doing it so long, I have kind of a system. Like, for instance, I make cheeses more in the fall and winter. I drink kefir soda mostly in spring and summer. I make sourdough bread once or twice a week. I make kefir every day. That's just a given. I've been doing that forever because it's super easy. It just takes 2 minutes to make kefir. I make veggies probably once a couple months, or it depends. I have so many in my fridge. I never need to make them for a year right now, but I still do. But I like to make different ones, and they last a long time in my fridge. I always have kombucha brewing. I buy miso because it takes so long to make. I make cheeses when I run out and need them for recipes. Which is about twice a month. And I've done this for so long, it's just a habit now. And I'm not just spouting facts and studies and recipes. I really live these experiences. And I really do love to make these foods. And because they make me well is the main reason. My body really demands it. And I don't feel right without them. Something just, I can tell it doesn't work for me to not have them. When you make these foods, you just know, there's just so much more beneficial than you can even imagine. You'll find billions of microbes in all of these foods that are just waiting to help you. And they all have different bacteria and good yeast and things that you need, that they're diverse. And that's why I make so many different ones, because they have a lot of different things that you need and different types and strains that do different things. So, now's the time I think you should just try one of them. Check out the one that most interests you and start there. That's what I did. And slowly over time, I couldn't resist trying the others too. And this has led to a life that is just full and rich and healthy, that has made all the difference in my health. But the most important thing it's done is it's just given me such a sense of well-being and joy that alone has been so life-changing. It has made all the difference for me. And I hope that it will do that for you. Just pick one. And if one seems to stick out, try that one, because usually that's the one you need. So I hope this helps. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And I hope you try one, because it could be life-changing like it has for me. Have a good week, guys, and we will see you next week.